I recognize the gentlewoman from California, Ms. Waters, who is the ranking member of our full Financial Services Committee.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. First, I'd like Ms. Menow to know that you answered basically many of my questions about the value of shareholder proposals. And I'd like to just, have you comment further. As I mentioned, for a party that is supposedly pro-free market capitalism and pro-investor freedom, I find it incredibly ironic that Republicans want to limit the ability of the capitalists, shareholders, who are the owners of the companies that power our economy, from proposing initiatives to be voted on at corporate meetings. A key tenet of the Republican Party is that the government shouldn't be able to tell you what you can and can't do, but in the instances of our capital markets, they're trying to do just that. Republicans want to stifle the ordinary investor and their fiduciaries' ability to have a voice in how their investments are managed. Do you have any additional thoughts on that? If so, I'd like to hear them.
I appreciate that very much. There have been a lot of improvements over the years in boards of directors. When I first came to work in this field, O.J. Simpson was on 5 boards, and he was on an audit committee of one of them. Boards have become much more engaged, much more qualified. That is all because of shareholder initiatives. That is all because of shareholder proposals. It was not unusual in those early days for a person to serve on 10 boards. Now the average is 2 or 3. So board members are doing a vastly better job because of shareholder proposals. Management entrenchment devices. I'm not here to say anything good about CEO pay except to say it could be worse, and it would be worse without the oversight of shareholders. Again, I just want to emphasize that shareholder proposals are non-binding. Companies can and do ignore the results of a shareholder proposal. And if that means that shareholders vote against the board next year, well, that is how the market responds. But yeah, shareholder proposals have been enormously important. And I mentioned that 20 of John Chevedden's proposals got majority votes. I should also mention another 20 of them were successfully negotiated with the company in a matter that was satisfying to both sides.
Thank you. Ms. Menow, could you please discuss more how pension funds that hold public shares engage the companies they own and their ability to engage companies in which they are invested through private funds? As I understand, private funds don't make disclosures neither of their investing practices or policies, nor do they make available information about their underlying portfolio companies. How would pension funds that are large investors into private funds, such as private equity funds or venture capital funds, know whether the value of their investments are fair? How can they engage these private companies if they don't know about the governance or diversity metrics of these companies?
Yeah, thank you, Representative Waters. That is what private means. And it has been my experience in working with large institutional investors that they are in very close touch with the managers, the partners of the private equity funds, both in deciding whether to make the investment as they learn about what those strategies are, and also as they themselves engage with their portfolio holdings. So again, that is a very, very market-based look at things. You know, I have to say that I work with money managers. They are the most mathy people in the world. They are the most green eye shade, resolute, forward-looking people in the world. And the idea of portraying them as sort of flower-strewing hippies who vote on behavior, based on what their wishes are about flowers and bunnies is just not true.
So, based on the knowledge that you have about the position that these pension funds are in, perhaps we need some legislation to deal with that. You agree?
I would love to see that. Thank you.
Thank you, and I yield back.